So what do you think about the kids today? Do you think they have that to summit Mount Kinabalu? The amount of time, you know,
physically, a normal person can do it.
Yeah.
Because my physique is not that good. I'm not fast, but I can do it. I take my own time. But here, nowadays, it's whether they want to take up that challenge. There are, as you go through the trail, you'll find that there are youngsters that go. But mainly it is people who are already working because it is very expensive nowadays. But I would expect a lot of teenagers to do that trip at least once in their lifetime. Because when you are up there, I can remember what I brought my 3 daughters as well. They were also in secondary school and in another school. 2 of them were waiting for me because every step, half kilometer away from the top, was really strenuous. I had to stop after every step because the air was very light. And when I reached my daughters, they said, "We feel nearer God."
So those days, you know, I remember during my young days as a school-going child, I used to climb rambutan trees, jambu trees, you know, playing with marbles and spinning tops. And today's children, which are more into the modern technological world, you know, do they lack something nowadays? Do you find
there is
they lack anything?
Plenty lacking. Judging from my experience, children through Kota Damansara, there is that trail around the lake, the original trail, Saleh's Trail. It is an educational trail. I like to take only children because when grandpas and grandmas and parents come along, don't touch this, don't touch that. Listen to the guide. Don't do that. So that what do you call that? Prevents them from exploring. Because I usually would take these children and say, come, we move further, and then they would pick up a place and say, Auntie, what is this? You know, Auntie, what is that? Little worm, millipede. These are things natural. But parents are so scared, yeah? And then how many of them would send their children camping or hiking because they are so scared of so many things that have been happening? So it is fear. And besides that, most of our children are stuck to their phone, their computer, to the TV. So they are missing out a lot. That is why I feel that we should have activities in each SIG just for children.
So for today's children schooling and the current curriculum that they have, what do you see that should be included into this curriculum?
Okay. Yeah, a beginning has been started. They are including things about conservation, about recycling, about water quality, and so on, and activities that they can do. It is in the books now, so it is a good beginning. But whether the teachers are willing to follow up with practical activity. There are some schools, and Selayang and so on, which I have visited, have done fantastic things. But there are many schools where nothing is done. They could start a little fish pond, they could start a little vegetable garden or plant flowers, get their hands dirty, work with the soil, and then take care of the litter, separate bins for separate things. A lot can be done in school. That all depends on the administration.
As I know,
yeah,
current school administration are afraid of bringing the children out on the field because the parents are too protective and their administration is afraid of being blamed for any mishaps. So how can we go about balancing?
Yeah, that is
effect?
the main obstacle these days, because too many things have happened. Yeah, too many accidents, and so every teacher is so terrified about losing her job or his job, right? And then there's so much paperwork, and you have to plan months ahead. This has to be addressed by the administration, right? See, we have KPA activities, right? It all depends on the teacher who is appointed by the principal. If that teacher does it as because the principal asked me to do it, okay, I will do, but will not do further, will not go further, because there are no funds. No funds from the department, no funds from MNS. So it all depends on the attitude and the teacher, right?
So
Yes.
KPA is basically Club Pencinta Alam, right? So if that is the case, shouldn't we tell the parents, don't be overprotective and let the children experience nature? Is part of growing up. And also I find that the teachers that are involved in these outdoor activities, they should be properly skilled.
It is the confidence and the enthusiasm of that individual teacher who is appointed for a year or two. And MNS does hold AGMs when in different states will send representatives. That is a good organization. But what really happens to the school, what really happens to the majority of children after they finish primary school or even secondary school, would they want to be involved in this? There's a competition between the attraction of multimedia, right? And they are affected by so many things they see on TV, what they are able to watch on their little phones and so on. So there is a big conflict. There should be a balance, and it is actually up to the parents to decide.
So during my school days, we have a dedicated PE teacher, right, who will be involved in all these extra sports and outdoor activities. So shouldn't the government implement a policy or implement a scheme where they should revive this segment in the school curriculum, that dedicated teachers to look into this, look into more outdoor activities?
Yeah, I'm not saying
for the
that
children.
there isn't enough training. They will have official training. They will ask for 2-3 teachers. The HEM, the one in charge of outdoor activities and so on, they will go for training. But how much of that filters down? And besides that, they already have special clubs already there. So KPA is something extra. It's not funded by anybody. So when no money is coming in, they can't do very much. Yeah.
Okay.
MNS does conduct some competitions. They have Central Zone, Southern Zone and so on, even Sabah and Sarawak. But that only involves a few people, few children.
So Pasu, you mentioned about KPA of the Club Pencinta Alam from MNS, and then you are the chairperson of MNS Selangor Branch. So can you tell us more about the branch?
The chair for any branch has definitely a lot of responsibilities. It depends on the state of affairs within that state or a number of states under their purview. As far as Selangor is concerned, Selangor Branch, it's called Selangor Branch, but we are in KL. The name was given by the British long ago when it was still Selangor. Right, when we refer to Selangor Branch, it covers Federal Territory, KL, it covers Putrajaya, and it also covers KL and Cyberjaya. So 4 different areas. So since the area has expanded, we have a lot to cover. So we are concerned about conservation issues within this territory. And of late, a lot of things have been happening that are really disturbing.
So the Shah Alam community there,
Forest.
which is now trying to get the government to fully gazette the forest for the community use, and they are in the process of doing that. So we hope that the Selangor government would look into that, as what they have done to the Kota Damansara community forest. So in modern living, where in a technological world now, we are under so much stress, a forest walk would definitely help a person to de-stress. Do you agree with that?
Oh, definitely, definitely. Every individual needs to feel they are at one with nature, to find some balance within themselves if they are dealing with problems, and more so during this pandemic. Yeah, you need to find some release, and Alicia Teo has spent more than 5 years on this development of a community forest, which is used very widely. It has attracted so many people, and some of our SIGs have been in there. Stephen has been in there taking groups, and so many others.
Yes.
So we really need to support. That's why Selangor Branch is going in.
I have found that these community forests are very helpful. As for me, I've been to these trails. I don't have much experience in the wild, but I find that these community forests really help the community because they are wild, safe environments.
True, true. I agree with you.
You see,
Yes.
the people will make sure the trail is clean and it's safe, and I think that will be a very good venue for the urban society.
Yes, we definitely need more of these around, especially in an environment where everybody is, just rushing to work, spending a lot of time on the road, then rushing home. The weekends should be fully utilized. Yeah.
I do also notice that a lot of young families are taking to it. When I go on a trail walk in Wawasan Hill Forest Trail, I've seen young children with their parents as young as 4, and they enjoy the walk, and also elderly folks, that they will just sweat it out along the trail. So, and when I talk to them, they seem to be very happy, being to be able to be outdoors, exercising, keeping healthy, and that is, I think, the way forward.
Yes, Kota Damansara has developed that way, and if at any time you go in the morning, you will see families coming. That will include babies, grandpa, grandma. All right, the trails are not very difficult. Yeah, and anyone can reach the highest point, which is only about maybe 200 meters.
So during these trails also, I noticed that we can come across interesting insects, fungi, and animals like the long-tailed macaques or the silver-leaf monkey. So I think it is very good for the children to
Yes.
experience such exposure.
Okay, I would like to add that you can go through a trail thousands of times, and each time it's going to be different.
Yes, I agree with
It
you.
is definitely a very important experience to go through, because you learn to look out for things. There are times when certain plants flower, certain trees fruit, certain times when the bark falls down. I can recognize a petaling tree, I can recognize a jalutong tree. From not knowing one tree from another, I can actually take you through Tanjung Tuan and reel off at least 20 different things. There are thousands of trees, but it takes time to learn. But because we have picked and chosen things that will be of meaning to our participants, it has been successful.
So, so coming back to Kota Damansara Community Forest, it was quite a lengthy battle, and we have managed to successfully convince the government, state government, to fully gazette it for community use. And this has involved several parties grouping together to have a louder voice. And coming back to the branch, you mentioned that you have SIGs, which are special interest groups. And how does this special interest group play a role in the branch?
Okay. When you have many members, it is likely that not everyone has the same interests. For example, some might be interested in photography, some might be interested in hardcore hiking, others might be interested in marine. So we have been very lucky that over the years, long before I came into the picture, there were already established SIGs. They may not have been called SIGs, but they had very good leaders. Dr. Serena, for example, right, led the marine group long ago, and I was very happy, although I didn't know anything about the sea and all the things that they were doing. I went with them to many places, and it became a learning experience. So the more groups we have, the better it is for us to cater to our members, and hopefully they would also be participating in many other main issues. Right now we have 9, and it is the responsibility of the chair and the main committee to make sure that the SIGs are organized well and they are conducting their activities. It could be a whole range according to the principles of MNS, which is education, conservation, and protection, right? So whatever you do, it must be linked to that, because we are naturalists, right? Whether you're doing photography, whether you're doing, hiking, whatever, follow principles that do not destroy the environment, that you do not leave litter around, the place must be as pristine as before. Right. Selangor Branch has been very lucky to have acquired expertise from different people who pull their resources together to form SIGs, special interest groups. And so members who have interests in birding or herpetofauna, creepy crawlies, or who are interested in just flora, can find that they can develop their knowledge and their interests further by joining these groups. We don't have very many members in each SIG, so if more members join and you can participate, it will really help the main cause, which is to follow the principles set down by MNS. Conservation, protection, and education. We need more people to understand that it is very important to conserve and protect what we already have. And if ever there is a danger to any of the flora and fauna, it should be reported. So together, we have a louder voice to raise it up to the authorities, and we can ensure that some positive action is taken. Okay, so there are 9 different SIGs, so you can choose from any that I have mentioned already. We also have the cavers, we have the nature guides, we have the green living group, and many more, right? So you can refer to them in the apps, in the MNS apps, and decide which interests you. You are free to join any activity of any SIG. It means that you do not have to stick to just one. But if you're just interested in one, you can go very far because there are many activities. For example, in the photography group, yeah, there are chances of you learning about basic photography. You can go on trips to find out how you can use what you have learned and develop your skills along the way, right? So with more members, we have a better chance of catering to different interests. We will find experts to give talks and chances for you to participate.
To my personal experience joining SIG activity, specifically to the herpetofauna group, where we go out on the night walks and then we look for the night animals of the snakes, frogs, and being able to identify a snake really helped me to knowing that it is a venomous snake or it is a non-venomous snake. So I think through my experience, that these experiences really helped me in my life.
That's fantastic, yes. So you have learned and you appreciate the opportunity. Likewise, if you do join a nature guide group, we have had special experts, and the one who really influenced me was Ashley Xiao, a professional nature guide. But he joined our group and he trained us from basics. How to start a fire without a match. Okay? How to set up your camp. How to look after your safety in the forest. And there were times when he himself was in trouble. And one day, I was in the Kampung Pertak near Sungai Chiling, when suddenly, when we were doing a recce, he said, "Pasu, turn right," and he was in front of me. And then when I turned again, he took something, jabbed himself. Here, EpiPen. He was allergic to wasp bites. Yeah, and he nearly died in Ulu Muda, the first time he went. So safety is very important.
Yeah, I also recall going on a nature walk once through forest, and that walk was really fulfilling for me, because during that walk we came across a pangolin trap, and it was set up by poachers. So what we did was that through the guide that led us, we managed to destroy that trap. Yeah, it was very fulfilling.
Yes.
Yeah. So before we go, do you have any parting words to our viewers that can help us in our conservation journey?
As the chair of Selangor Branch for the second term, I have found many challenges. What we have been talking about, SIGs and nature conservation and so on, is just part of the story. Of late, we have found that big areas of forests are being degazetted with or without the knowledge of the public. To name a few, I have already mentioned Bukit Bayu in Bukit Charaka. How long before more of that forest is gone? Okay. Besides being involved in the Kuala Langat pit swamp issue, Selangor Branch is also going into the KL Structure Plan 2040. Every 20 years there's a structure plan. And so we put in our proposals of what could be done, what shouldn't be done, and so on. And perhaps some of the points were very relevant. Our main focus was to save Bukit Persekituan from becoming a mixed development place. Okay, and if we can save that, we will save UCF, Urban Community Forest. The forest does not belong to MNS. It is for the community. We've got it working very well, and it will save our MNS building. Okay, so we have gone in as a team that included Tan Sri Saleh, John Ko, myself, and Wai Ling. 4 of us have worked very hard, so we have done that. And now, after several months, they have actually sent us a letter asking us to forward one name for one person from our team to be on their board to analyze all the proposals or objections and to tackle what should be done, what shouldn't be done in 20 years' time. Okay, so we are very happy that the mayor and is very open to our ideas, and he has actually asked us to put forward some proposals, which we have done. And I think the main topic was carbon sink in KL, and we have worked out a project that we have forwarded to them, and therefore hopefully there is some positive result from that. From what we have been talking about, we can feel that Selangor Branch faces a lot of challenges. Not only do we need more members, but we also need members who can effectively help us spread the message. It's all about saving the environment. And to put it simply, we just use these 3 words: conserve, protect, and educate as much as possible. We need more young members, and we need more and more members to come and help us spread the message. We do not have to wait another 50 years. Scientists have been prophesying that glaciers will melt. But if you have been reading the news, glaciers have already started melting, as it happened in India. Right? Sometimes it's hot, sometimes the weather is different, unusual, but we can all play a role by saving what is left. Let's save the forest, let's save flora, let's save what is left of the fauna. Please come and join Selangor Branch and learn together with us. Let's all listen to the scientists and help the world exist on an equal basis. Thank you.
Thank you, Pasu, for spending your time and sharing with us your experiences towards your journey in this protecting our nature heritage. to the viewing public, Kuala Langat play a very important role in the ecosystem. It is a huge carbon storage area where it play an important role in maintaining and fighting climate change. If anything happens, it will be a drastic effect towards climate change. So thank you for following us in our Naturegrapher channel. We hope to see you on our next episode. And please do comment and give us a feedback in the comment section so that we can know our shortcomings, or you have any suggestions that we can improve on. Please share your thoughts with us. Thank you.